But after last night, man, Chris Paul changed my mind. Just to see Chris Paul out there with him, Chris being a pass-first point guard. He's not a shoot-first point guard. He's a pass-first point guard and one of the greatest passers of all time. And then hearing Klay after the game just saying that every pass was perfect, every pass was on time, every pass was perfect. I don't think I've ever seen Klay so happy after a game. He's acted happy, but he was truly happy and truly played free out there. And I really like those two coming off the bench now,
Wow.
Hopefully Brandon can kind of adjust to starting. But I really liked what I saw last night.
We
Tough
did too.
not to.
And Fitz pointed that out, Steiny. You're a shooter. When Klay catches the ball.
No. I was a player. Go ahead.
I had you as a shooter.
I could shoot, but I'm a player. Don't call me a shooter. That's one-dimensional. JJ Redick was a shooter. And Kyle Korver was a shooter.
I didn't mean to call you Redick.
Now?
All right. But you were a player. But anyway, when Klay can set his feet and he's not, leaning.
Drifting.
But that starts with I never looked at the way the ball was coming in from whomever. But if Chris is giving him the Peyton Mannings, CP3 right there, this shouldn't wane.
What's funny is Steve called in and was talking about all the attributes about as he's running down Chris Paul. He's a great ball handler. He puts the ball right on the money. He's pass first. I was ready to jump in. That's why Guru can't stand him.
Oh, please.
He does all those things.
Ask me what I didn't like.
He doesn't have the ha-ha.
No, Chris Paul.
Who cares?
I've rooted for him so much that when he got hurt, I got mad at him because I want him to get a ring. But tell me what I didn't like about yesterday's game.
What didn't you like?
18 turnovers, man, and that's against the Wizards, Steiny, and it's a little bit of everybody. It's your best players doing it. Yeah. Draymond Green.
You look at that number of turnovers differently when you also see 39 assists.
Nah, how can you not?
They had 39 assists last night.
39 assists.
Somebody get the scorekeeper of the Washington Wizards on the phone, please.
39. Well, they scored 123 points.
They had some bad turns. They were a little loose last night, which you can afford to be against.
And Draymond only had 2, but when you throw the long pass down court, Steiny, and it's the bomb, and he goes out of bounds, it's those are the ones I hate the most.
There he goes. I just didn't like the turnovers. He had 16 assists and 2 turnovers. That was Jokic the other day.
No.
Guru, this guy's up your alley. I'd take a Monster over a coffee any day. You like Red Bull instead of coffee, right?
Yeah, but
that'll give you the punch.
I got to say something. I don't like it. Does nothing. What I do and my energy is natural, but I just like the explosion of when it goes in my mouth. So what is that? That's the caffeine, right? What are you doing, scissor?
Pause.
Oh, man, I thought I was at work with. Oh my gosh! But yeah, I like the coldness. Now I can't drink this hot, so it's the caffeine. Maybe I should go to coffee.
They have ice lattes and stuff like that.
Yeah. How much?
They're expensive.
Because it's about $5, $7 in the city.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It is. It is. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, CP3 is back. What about Moody? Let's talk about Moody.
What about him?
23 minutes.
Okay.
I'm not telling you he's Bird.
What kind of start the Warriors get off to with Moody in the starting lineup?
They were down 10 or 7 or 9.
Moses Moody with
Moses.
Yeah, 12.
Moses, a lot of people needed you to make that first 3 with about a minute left.
And he had a bad turnover at the end.
Yeah, I'm actually
for the
pretty
gamblers.
pissed at Moses Moody.
Moses! And why did Kerr sit everybody down with 40 seconds
112.
left?
There was 112 left.
And I was
I pushed yesterday. You pushed. Evan wasn't so lucky.
No doubt.
The good news is Evan didn't quite bet as much as us.
Yeah.
But at 112, and all right, fire me if you want for lack of sports knowledge. Who's the guy that you put into the game? Spencer?
No, you're fine.
Did Spencer play?
I saw number 61 out there.
I was like, oh no.
And Robinson got in.
And then Moody turned it over right off the bat.
Oh, man. Just amazing.
Yeah,
hey, I got this thing going with Prize Picks, guys. So you put.
Is this sponsored?
Yeah, we got something going. PrizePicks.com. You sign up, Steiny, whatever you deposit, we'll match. Or I say I'll match. So if you put 100 in, you got 200. Guru957 is the promo code. And Steiny, it's not on the line. It's on the players, what they do. Steph will score over 23 points. So if you do that, you got to pick minimum of 2. Go get your money. Go get that chicken.
Okay.
You got your head down like you're not feeling it.
I'm not.
Why? Because now you're wondering about my chicken.
No,
What?
You just mentioned Curry. Oh, he looks fresh. Steiny. Steve Kerr said he looks tired. Steph said he isn't. We got a problem here, Steiny. How does he look to you? What's a little
just when
tired?
you miss doesn't mean you're fatigued.
He had no chance at some of those shots. I'm watching that game.
2 air balls.
I'm watching that game, and I'm like, oh my God.
2 air balls, Steph. I love you. There were 2 air balls. Somebody closed the window. You never see that from the chef.
Let's go to
air balls. What do you say?
Only during certain money time.
Oh.
Will and Marin. What's up, Will? How you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. So Steiny, I was listening to you say you couldn't put your finger on it.
Yes.
On why you said you didn't really bat an eye about Draymond and you couldn't really put a finger on Klay. This is no disrespect, but I just think the way that the Warriors play basketball and what he's worth, I just think that you didn't bat an eye because Draymond Green right now is better, and it's the truth. He's just a better overall player. He just offers more. Like, yes, Klay can score and he can do a lot of cool things, but just right now, Draymond's a better defender. His 9, 6, and 6 to me is just more valuable. He spreads the ball around. He helps. He's a general on the court. You know what I mean? When he's on, and he's good at defense. He may not be that same Draymond that you can just put on anybody, but I just feel right now he's more valuable. And Klay just hasn't been the same defender since his Achilles. Like, he's getting his shot back. He's starting to find his rhythm. And I know, it's probably a very hard thing to do. Basketball is a tough sport, but just right now, I think Draymond is just a better player, and that's why possibly for you, it's hard for you to put your finger on to give him $100 million. That's why.
I think you're right on the money. It's not a basketball thing. I agree with you 100%. If you look at the last 2 years, who's been more effective when they've played? It's probably Draymond. So from a logical, practical point of view, I get why Draymond got what he got, but it stinks. Yeah, it just stinks a little. That's all. I get why. I completely get why. I don't like it. It just rubs me the wrong way. That's all.
I don't think you're by yourself.
But it is what it is. And Draymond's got 3.5 more years on his contract, and Klay's a free agent.
His payday could be coming up. Well, it is coming up. It'll be here or hopefully not somewhere else.
I mean, to me, if you're Klay Thompson, you've got to I have to get 3 years from the Warriors.
Well, Trey got 4 after you brought that up.
At least
he might get 4.
At least. Well, I don't think they would give 4 to Klay, but the third year could be a player option,
which Dre has
exactly. But I'm sorry if I'm Klay Thompson and I don't want to, and I'm effective the rest of the season. You can't just give me 2 years. I'm not taking 2 years. I'll get 3 from somebody else.
What if they make the offs and he looks like he did last year, where I thought he was singled out, but it wasn't his best playoffs by any stretch. But do you think that could affect the 20-something games they got left where, okay, I like that, but then you go into a series and let's just say it's nothing to write home about?
I mean, yeah, I use the word effective. If Klay's effective like this for the rest of the year, he's fine. I don't know what could or could, I'm not really factoring in, what about a bad playoff? What about a great playoff? I'm just saying, this is, and I don't think he's going to be this good the rest of the year. I think he's going to be
ups and
downs. He's going to be solid.
Yeah.
But when he's good, they're different. When Klay's good, you're a better team. So what do you do with him? I'm just telling you right now, if I'm Klay Thompson, first of all, you offered him, if it's true that you offered him 2 for $48 and he said no, and then he struggles a little, you move him to the bench and he finds himself, I'm not revisiting that and taking less.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, man. That's what you call Steiny an insult.
So 888-957-9570. I wrote, what's the word? Like, to me, there's a little bit of a conundrum with Klay Thompson. Like, the better he plays, the more you got to pay him. But you got to but if you're to reach your potential as a team, Klay's got to be a part of it. He has to be. He has to be a guy who on certain nights can basically be the difference between winning and losing. And last night, I thought he was.
He made that one runner, Steiny, when they needed it and it was getting to like 9 or 8 points. And he just came, hit a shot after missing a bunch. And he came and free throw line extended and just bam. And I'm like, man, dude can still shoot, Steiny.
He's never shot more inconsistently than he has lately. That's all. It's Curry. Curry
when he gets hot, he can.
Oh, there you go. When he gets hot.
That's what I mean.
Well, okay. Yeah. So if he can get hot 1 out of 4 games, what's that worth? Yeah. If he can get hot 1 out of 3 games, what's that worth?
Out. No doubt.
If he only gets hot 1 out of 2 games, what do you pay him then? I mean, that's the issue with Klay. He's been all or nothing. And that's where I think Warrior fans will agree. Steph's going to get paid because he's the best player on the team, and he's still Steph Curry to a large degree. Draymond Green, when he plays, usually is a positive. Even when Draymond's not playing great, he doesn't hurt you for the most part. When Klay's not playing well, he can actively hurt you. So if he can stop with those games or eliminate those games or really reduce those games, well, then he becomes more like Draymond Green, and then we can, to me, have a better conversation about where we go forward with Draymond with Klay Thompson. Mm-hmm. I also think what we're seeing is I think we're seeing Pods hit a little bit of a wall. And even though Kuminga was 10 of 13 last night, something like that?
28 minutes, plus 10.
Kuminga, listen, I do like Kuminga, but
6
I do
boards,
feel like...
Steiny. Talk to us.
How many minutes?
28.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's average.
Went to the free throw line twice. But go ahead. I'm hearing you.
I'm just saying. Kuminga is a guy who... From what I've seen this year, and Warrior fans, feel free to disagree at 888-957-9570. I think things need to fall into place. Not necessarily every game, but when Kuminga plays well, it feels, hey, he was pretty good last night. Wiggins didn't play.
Like
when this team's whole, it feels like Kuminga is, his numbers are going to suffer just a little bit.
And they could be minutes with Pods too. And that's why I was eager for, again, whatever Wiggins has going on is serious, Steiny. If it's family related, obviously he's not at work, but you kind of want him to get back so you can be whole. Because, Steiny, 10 or 12 dudes in a rotation ain't going to cut it. You know what I mean? Like, what do they say in playoff basketball? The rotations, they're condensed. And right now, I could give you 12 guys that I want to see play, but that's not a good thing.
Why?
Saric was... Yeah, he came in last night. He was -3 on 14 minutes, but Looney, Jackson Davis only got 9 minutes. Looney got 10. But Chris Paul.
Nobody's pining. Nobody's pining to see Quinones.
Yeah, I didn't even bring him up. He came in and
that guy, he's also
ruined my bet.
Yeah, he's also on my S list.
Hey, what happened?
How about shooting late in the game last night instead of against Charlotte?
Hey,
he should have taken the ball in the basket and tried to dunk.
It's
created something.
How do they know? The odds makers, man. And I want to know: is it a computer or is it the boss guys, the mob guys that go in a room? Hey, Tony, it's
I have
going
no
to be
idea what you're talking about.
To set the line. But now it's just a computer, I think. Now,
yeah. 415, Green's a better player than Thompson. Oh, okay. 415, if I'm Klay Thompson, I join the Lake Show.
Man.
He could shoot open threes all day long with LeBron James and Anthony
Davis. They'd be like, Klay, shoot more. Right.
The problem with giving these guys 3 years is they're old.
No doubt.
And you got to think about what they're going to look like in the last year of the contract. But I do acknowledge that that's less important for the Warriors because these guys are legends.
So tell me how, just from a fan perspective, how much of a bad look it would be. So Kerr's going to stay, Dre's here, Curry's here, and Klay was the one guy that, moved on. And I know it's more goes into it than that, Steiny. But man, from a sentimental standpoint, that would be kind of tough. I just think, again, it's just me, 2 for 50 gets it done.
No chance.
You don't think?
I don't think so
because
anymore.
somebody else is coming with
I don't think
more.
so anymore. I shouldn't say anymore. who knows what's going to happen in the last 25 games of the year. I'm just saying, and I don't think Klay's going to be this good like he's been the last 4 or 5 games. But it looks like he's figuring some stuff out. I think Chris Paul's going to really help me. Might put up good numbers off the bench. At that point, you're, I don't want to say you're stuck, but that's the conundrum. Yeah. Like, don't think for him, like, if Orlando gives him 80 over 3, he's not staying here for 2 for 50.
That I get, man.
I don't care how many rings he's got. He's not doing that. You wouldn't do it. Don't expect him to do it. The other thing is, we don't know, but maybe he does think he didn't get a fair shot last offseason.
Oh, no doubt.
And now he's coming into his own a little bit.
And he could be just being a good soldier right now. But I believe him. He was talking about, again, him and Poole, him talking to Poole and telling Poole to embrace his new role.
Here's the other thing.
Coming off the bench. I thought that was dope.
Here's the other thing. There's a big difference to me between Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And I know, and I'm going to just say it. Dre was afraid to leave the Warriors in a way.
Well, he said he had an offer.
Okay, great. And did he take it?
No.
No. And apparently he said that offer was more. Why didn't he take it? Because he knows he'll never be the player he is for another team that he is for the Warriors.
I told you that.
There's a part of Draymond Green that fears being on another team without Steph and Klay and this protective, insular community.
And later in
Klay's
your career,
different. Klay's got a defiance to him. He's not going to get lowballed and stay here because I think he's got more confidence. I'll go somewhere else and I'll be fine.